All right.
Hey, folks, gonna let Dustful head control the floor real quick. We're trying to get everything set up for Minecraft. Kind of last minute changes, some things that had to happen.
All right. Going to assume he just muted himself right there and went to do his business. Hey, everyone, how's it going? Dustquill here. As Bob said, we got some last minute changes that kind of screwed stuff up for a bit. Apparently, he had to go over to like a. He wants to get like his friend over on the stream to chat with us about politics while we play some Minecraft, and some things got like switched around a bit. Didn't expect that he had to go over to the friend's house, I guess, and then we had like the server all set up and everything, and then yeah, the change in location kind of screwed everything up there. So, Organite, what the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about, Organite? I better get the.
He's talking about the fact that I always say traps are gay. And the never-ending jokes. Right now, I'm just trying to get the you know what? There we go. I'll just do that. Okay. There we go. That'll work. Because everything else is going to change. But all right, dude. Yeah. I'll try to get specific number. That's why I was still here. All right. Back to mute.
There we go. I got the live stream tweeted out. Well, now I do, Gorgonite. Now I do. Yeah. Just going to be chilling here before we get things rolling, since Bob has to figure some shit out with Minecraft because he had to go over to a different location. The server address doesn't work, so he needs to get a new port going so we can play together. So you probably won't be seeing my face here on the stream tonight because I'm going to let Bob's camera take priority, so you're not jumping between a lot of places. So I could just stay focused on his gameplay. Yeah, just gotta wait another century, then maybe Minecraft will start working. If y'all have any requests of any kind of game that y'all want me and Bob to play while we do these streams, go on ahead. We just we can also do something fun, something different. Oh well, this is interesting. Hey Bob, you still around? Nah, just gonna assume now. Well, I just found something rather interesting in my recommended tab, recommended list. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but it's there. Ugh. It's rather interesting. So how you been doing, Gorgonite? You got anything new going on? You doing all right? Just drinking through some Red Bull to give me some energy for this because for whatever reason I've been absolutely exhausted lately when it comes to late at night. I think schoolwork is really putting a number on me. But once I'm done with this Red Bull, I shouldn't need to get up anytime soon because I also got me a tall glass of orange juice. Not orange juice, orange soda, like orange jet. the discount orange soda. It has some orange crush. I much rather prefer crush. Ugh. It's taking him a while to figure out that port issue. So, sort of like every other week, lately we just have a plethora of stuff to talk about. So much stuff just happening all the goddamn time. It is the new Clown World Order. I can tell you that for free. It's ridiculous.
I think I'm almost about there because all the hard stuff was already done earlier.
Right?
Just getting finding out the IP real quick.
Anyways, Bob, I saw something rather interesting in my recommended list on here on YouTube.
Huh.
Apparently, we're not the only ones live streaming right now.
Who's live streaming?
Ricotta Law, and he's live streaming with Tim Pool.
Nice. I'm kind of jealous that he's live streaming with Tim Pool, actually.
I'm kind of not, because of the particular subject that they're going to be talking about. Tim Pool is trying to bring some people into court because they supposedly violated his
IP,
his trademark.
Subverse. Yep, real talk. That actually happened.
And I'm just saying, like, I'm pretty sure they had no idea you even existed in the first place.
Because of who it is, yeah, no.
And you trademarked what is essentially a like thing in the dictionary. Like, you trademarked a word in the dictionary.
Yeah, and
So,
what you really can't do, technically.
So I
mean, Dr.
it's just like
I shot you the new, or it should be the new IP over Steam.
Yeah, I'm trying to get that going right now.
Not a problem. I'm going to copy that because that'll work at my house. At this house, it doesn't need to. It's different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it's like I'm not sure if even after this I want to watch it because I just might be cringing the entire time, and I don't want to associate cringe with Ricotta or Tim Pool.
Right. Like, it's just no. All right, that'll work. That will work.
And it's even more painful because apparently the person who quote unquote violated the trademark is a erotic game, I guess, and I'd rather not see indies, especially indie erotic people, get slammed with something that major.
I agree, but let's see. It's one of those. I guess you could say it's not. Tim gave them every chance. Let's just be honest. He did. He gave them every chance to correct it, and they decided against it.
Well, I mean, at that point, they already had, the Kickstarter. They were already pretty much funded. They already had their name out there, and chances are they're probably a lot more prolific than Tim is.
The sad thing is, you're probably right. Even I know who Studio Foul is. I think even those watching do. All right, and
plus, I'm even sure even most of the people who watch Tim Pool barely care about Subverse. They just only care about Tim Pool.
Right.
And Tim Pool would probably get a lot more traffic if we just put everything under his name.
Oh yeah,
Maybe centralized stuff more. Just put everything under the same name, but just on different multiple websites.
yeah, pretty much. Is it working?
Let's see. Join server. Connecting.
Uh, um, uh, should
If
have.
if an IP you absolutely love suddenly became public domain, what would you do with it? You funny things going into public domain nowadays. You are
Right.
hilarious. No, failed to connect.
Failed to connect. All right.
That's as stupid and gay as trying to copyright dance moves. Oh wait, yeah, it really is. You already fuck up when you try to trademark a literal word in the dictionary. It's like that's like the whole thing of the Fine Bros trying to trademark React. You saw how well that went.
Didn't they get laughed off, like literally out of the fucking?
They got laughed at just for suggesting doing it, and here's Tim Pool who literally did it. So I mean,
Right.
you know, take that for what you will.
Right.
Like I like Tim Pool, but I will call some bullshit out when I see it, and that is kind of bullshit, but dude.
Are you really surprised at this point? I mean, it's on the one hand, I understand where he's coming from. He did put a lot of work into like trying to build up that brand. You know
And
what I mean?
I'm pretty sure the porno game people also did the same.
So it's like
But the thing is, they didn't try to trademark a word in the dictionary.
well, it's not so much trademarking a word in the dictionary. It's a specific name associated with a brand, and that's where he may have a case because he had already established himself as a brand with the name Subverse, and then you have this porno studio come along and decide, well, we're going to make a game, we're going to use that same name. Well, problem that they will run into, and like I said, the only way I see this him having a case is it being a brand issue. It's why, all right, for instance, why you don't see any other Batman, like any other company try to do Batman, because of the fact that, you know what I mean? Like, yes, there's another Sporkman, for instance, but that's a completely different character, and I think it's Chuck would be the one to know more about that than me.
Yeah. I'm sure Ricardo probably knows a lot more than that, but I'm just not a huge fan of it.
Yeah, I can believe that. I can believe that.
I'm, I'm just not a fan of it at all.
Let me
Almost
try
to the
this.
point where I'm, even though I do like Tim Pool, I'm probably not going to watch any more Subverse because they got just make me keep. I just keep making me cringe.
I like Subverse. It's just I prefer Tim Pool. But
Yeah, exactly.
like Tim knows how to.
I prefer, even though I know we are in desperate need of unbiased news, I prefer hearing Tim's opinion about
Well, it's
stuff.
because Tim will. He's willing to allow the opinion to be not just everything. He gives you the facts, and you'd be like, okay, things like this, blah 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 blah. Facts. He might on occasion go on a tangent about about a specific part of it and everything, but he's proven himself on several occasions to know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
So he's earned the right to be able to be like to have his opinion. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he'll give like the facts and then state his opinion based on the facts.
Uh-huh. All right, I shut it
Which that makes
down.
me wonder why he even bother doing a a newscast when his opinion show is already basically that.
Oh, well, yeah, but it allows him to be able to do. You know what I mean? It basically be able to. It allows him the opportunity to do other topics. Because most of what he does on his channels, let's be honest, is mainly culture war stuff.
Right.
And so when you have something like that going on, it's, I guess the best way to put it, it's just a issue of whether or not you trust him as a source.
Right.
And he has proven on time and again that he's correct. He knows what he's talking about, and that's where people come from. They know he's got like actual intelligence, and he doesn't try to feed you, I guess you could say, bullshit.
Right.
All right. Now let's see if I got this bad boy actually
And
working
man,
right
even when you
now.
Google subverse, it's all basically just the porn game. There's not much going on with Tim Pool.
Right. Why are you not? Downside to doing this shit, like,
Right.
and we should be fine on the server end. Like, I don't see what the problem is. I set up the port forwarding, or I had my buddy do it.
Oh, God. That's good.
It's like, huh? Why are we having difficulty? But anyway, but still, we have a lot to talk about, even while fighting with this to get it working. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We have, of course, one, and it was one of the original topics that I was planning on talking about from the get-go. All right, which was the clown world bit. Because, so basically, Jared Holt thinks that he can come out of nowhere, say, "Oh, well, these guys went and they did the whole basically. Well, they used some racist, or they made a meme racist. Do you know who else drinks water?
Yeah.
Like, come on." And that's literally how I feel about it. It's like, you know who else drinks water? Hitler. Come on, let's be realistic here. So what if some people decided to make a racist meme? Racist people exist. If it was black people making a racist meme about white people, you wouldn't be saying jack and or shit. Tariq Nasheed can go on, basically carrying on Twitter saying whatever the hell he wants. Nobody says anything. Making all these pro-black memes. If he was able to meme, he'd be making all these pro-black memes. And no one would say a thing. And whatever. He could use Clown World right now, and nobody would say a damn thing about it being racist. But then you turn around, and it's like, yeah, the other, that also ties in it. The gay flag is now a symbol of segregation and white supremacy now. So honk honk. And really, all this is a pure example, a prime example of the Streisand effect, dude. Like we were talking last night, this is a prime example of the Streisand effect. Yeah, so you tried to stop it, and guess what? Now everyone's doing it. Left, right, anyone who's not a far left identitarian is doing it because everyone else has gotten so sick of people like Jared Holt and Right Wing Watch and how they act and how they carry on. It literally is an issue.
Right.
It's like, well, why are you idiots even? What are you even doing here? You're just not even worth it. You know what I mean? Go away, type deal.
It's kind of hard to comment on a lot of stuff going on because it's just, just one thing after the other before you got an idea about how you feel about something. Here comes the next thing and stupid like a second later.
Mm-hmm. It's no, I completely agree. I mean, just look at the thing that happened in this past week. All right, mind you, a lot of it's been overshadowed by I know I sent you a bunch of stuff. I sent you.
Oh, we've been sending each other's stuff like back and forth about all sorts of shit.
I mean, come on, let's CBS deciding to do an oopsie. I'm just saying.
And apparently it's like an advertisement
for a TV show.
A TV show that they do is supposed to be like a sequel to another TV show that they did, and yeah, kind of backfired on them to the point they actually had either they deleted the tweet or Twitter removed it. But I'm highly suspecting that it's more likely they removed it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh yeah, and I think I already told you, like Ali was like looking into the show, and apparently they have like two subliminal messages in the background. One about like assassinating Trump, and another one about blowing up the White House with a missile.
Yeah, and it's like, which that since I'm having trouble fighting.
Like it's not a part, like it's not like the good way of doing that kind of thing, like making that like a part of the story, like we've done before, where you're like, oh, in order to get at America, they killed the president or whatever. Like, no, it's like it's like there's like a list of like words and stuff, and you just in that list you just got assassinate President Trump and blow up White House missile. It's like, what?
I'm sharing the video, so you will have.
There we go. Here's the video
dude
that's been removed.
Hi, sorry, do what I'm doing there.
Hey, Humble Marty, and I'm pretty sure there's already plenty.
Well, I'm gonna need you to tell me to pause.
Oh.
Because I'm looking at that right now. Alright, we already saw that Jared Holt getting punched. Yeah.
What do you want me to pause?
So you said the whole looking for the bit you're saying about Trump and whatnot, but then the.
Oh, no, it's not in the video. It's like a different picture.
Oh, okay. That's why I was. Yeah. That's the whole reason why I'll do. See, you got me.
Oh. Well, let me see if I can find that picture for you. It should be around here.
All right. Okay.
Come on, Ali Alexander. Where on there?
What's up, Humble Marty?
Here we go.
No.
Chat.
Well, I thought you were going to screen share it, but no problem.
Well, I can screen share it if you want.
I got it, dude. Not a problem.
I figure since you already had like a screen share up.
Yeah, well, I did, but it's not.
Anyways, Humble Marty, I'm pretty sure there's already plenty of Clown World memes with Joker in. I think I've seen a couple of pictures of it.
All right.
And to answer your question, Gorgonite, I would probably do Star Wars because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I would love to do some shit for Star Wars. And I would definitely patch up what they call a sequel trilogy with my own sequel trilogy. Done right. It's not the White House, it's the Mar-a-Lago that they wanted to blow up.
All right. Well, either way, it's still like, it's still one of those you actually can see, like, oh god.
Yeah, and there's like impeach, anarchy,
like an
kill,
entire
slaughter,
list.
gun down, execute, all sorts of crap.
Okay, and then the rest. Wow.
Yeah.
it just. Well, oh, okay. Types. And also known as the government. Oh, that's. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, now I see what they were doing. That's basically like they were, like it said, a thinly veiled threat, blatantly obvious.
And so if they wanted to like show an assassination of Trump for like theatrics, that's fine, but why do it like this, where it's like the most scummiest thing ever?
Dude, what's driving me nuts about it is one, the way that they're doing it. They're not even trying to say, oh, we were talking about something else, or oh, we're trying to
It's
be
like
subversive. No,
so blatant.
exactly.
And like I'm not even against like depictions of assassinations of presidents. You can do stuff like that with TV shows and movies for like artistic purpose to tell a story or for symbolism. Like I remember being upset at idiotic conservatives for being upset about the uh, the Caesar moment, but with Trump, where Trump was assassinating the thing. You know?
Yeah. Are you talking about Snoop Dogg, where for instance, in the music
No,
video?
not the Snoop Dogg thing. Not the Snoop. I'm not. I wasn't a big fan of Snoop Dogg. I'm talking about like Shakespeare in the Park, where they did the stabbing of Caesar, but with Trump instead.
Oh God.
Because like guys, do y'all know what Caesar the play is all about?
They don't know anyway.
Like the play of Caesar is supposed to be about how destabilizing a beloved like a beloved or respected or whatever leader is very bad for the country. So don't like assassinate the presidents because it just leads to upheaval and decline of the country. And that's why they did it with like Trump. They did it before with Obama, just saying, hey, don't freaking assassinate your leader because it just make everything worse.
Mm-hmm.
So, that whole thing was supposed to be in favor of Trump, but like every single conservative just basically lost their shit.
I'm not at all surprised.
And just as I said, like they did the exact same thing with President Obama before. I mean,
Sorry, I'm reading up on how to fix our problem real quick.
it's just no problem. It's no problem.
Sorry, I'm not.
To answer your question, Gorgonite, he's over at somebody else's house, I believe. So there's just people walking around and talking.
Yes. Sorry, I'm not. Like it was one of those last minute deals. Like we were about to go live, and they're like, basically, they need me to watch their house while they go out of town for an appointment and everything. And
And
it was one of those.
it's why we're like an hour and a half late for the stream.
And it was one of those like 10 minutes before. They're like, well, why not come over? I was like, well, if I'm going to do this, I need to do this now. This because I would have to be here.
I'm not sure why they thought having Trump being Caesar was an insult. I was pretty sure that it's pretty universally agreed that Caesar was a good thing for Rome.
It depends on the Roman you ask. I mean, at that point,
if it wasn't for Caesar, Rome would have literally fell apart as the Republic before, because of all the corruption and stagnation that was going on. Then he came in, took over thing, formed the empire, and made Rome last a few more generations. Probably a lot longer than that. I forgot how long Rome stood for after Caesar. it's sort of why I say that I refuse to call the United States the next Rome until we have our own Caesar, where like a military leader just comes in and makes us an empire, and then we try to go back into a republic.
But don't you know, Trump is, some leader that's coming in and trying to control the government. Don't you know, Doug? My Russia, re, your thing.
At this point, this is what I have to come to expect while living in a republic. I'd rather live in a dictatorship. At least at that point, maybe the idiots will get called, and I can be spared a headache for a day. Because holy crap!
Oh, I like that. The American Empire. Yep. Damn right. All right.
Now, yeah, right when Emperor Constantine was making Christianity the state religion when things really started to head down south. Because at that point, they tried to force their pagan subjects into it, and the pagans were just having none of it. The pagans were having none of it. They should have kept it as it was before, where the entirety of Rome was pagan. It was like, hey, we're kind of the leaders of all of you now, so you're allowed to do whatever you want. Just call yourself Romans, and we're all good. then came the Byzantine split.
Just really.
Yeah. Oh boy.
I'm just unable to catch a break. I swear.
And I think also one of the major deal breakers was when Constantine decided to move the capital of Rome out of Rome and into Constantinople, which is now today's Istanbul.
Alright, let's do this real quick. Temporary.
The Turks finally got Byzantine.
I'm just going to.
Ain't that a thing?
And I'm just going to ignore y'all and call y'all a bunch of motherfucking assholes. Okay, that didn't fix it. Okay, that was the whole. Do you?
What else new?
Is it my side? Maybe?
Oh yeah, we had all that bullshit going on with a few high schools.
Oh, dude, don't even get me started on the. You talking about the conservative high school event that was supposed to go on, but they decided that somebody decided to pepper spray the auditorium where they were going to be at.
Yeah, there's that. Then there's also the one where for a senior prank, a bunch of the seniors brought like water guns and water balloons to the school and started like getting some of the other students wet, and then apparently they got suspended for it, and depending on the freaking quote unquote damages that happen, they could be like facing criminal charges. It's like what?
Right.
And like literally every single parent is, fighting this because it's the stupidest thing you could ever do.
Right? Ain't that the truth? I wonder.
It's like, guys, I know you're all afraid of school shootings, but come on, this is the worst thing to ever do. You could ever think of doing. If anything, doing what you're doing right now could create a few school shooters.
Right.
Don't create the thing you're trying to prevent here.
I don't know. That's the American way sometimes. Especially when the left is involved. Especially modern left. Because, you know, they got to have that oppression. They needs it. They needs all the oppression. I'm just saying. What was I gonna do? Give me a sec. My mind went blank, and I'm like trying to recollect what I was gonna. Oh yes. As if it's still up. You're fine.
What?
Something that I used to have back in the day.
Oppression addiction? Yeah, I'll probably say so. Probably like some kind of like sociology version on a grand scale of what would you call it? Stockholm syndrome? Maybe not even that. Maybe we just got to the point where we put people who have been oppressed to such a high standard that everyone else wants to be oppressed just to get benefits or to be thought of as special, because there's really nothing interesting going on in people's lives nowadays. Everything's boring. You you work until you die just to make a living, and there's nothing special going on in people's lives, and it's to the point where they have to invent struggles for themselves just to feel like something is happening with them.
Well, what I was going to do to try to bypass this, can't even do. Can't even do.
Oh boy.
Well, it's from what I'm seeing, it's a server issue. I'm trying to figure out.
The last time we had this sort of trouble with trying to get a proper port, how did you manage to solve it?
Well, it's one of those. It wasn't a matter of proper port. See what it is because we changed complete network. I think is the issue. Like because we completely changed networks, we have to I have to find where, and I don't want us to have to restart another one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I could set us up another one, but I don't want to have to do that because we were we
were doing pretty well before.
It's like, come on,
Marty, I'm pretty sure they had a feminist villain who was literally saying, "Hey, don't stop me from doing my crimes because I'm a woman and I'm sticking it to the man." And yeah, the girls eventually just decide to have none of that and beat the crap out of her. And if they tried to redo that episode today, it would go a completely different way. They would let her go, and that'd be the end of the episode.
Yeah, pretty much.
I do not like new Powerpuff Girls.
Nobody likes new Powerpuff Girls.
I very much preferred older Powerpuff Girls. I actually liked older Powerpuff Girls.
Well, everyone liked the older Powerpuff Girls because the older Powerpuff Girls was freaking awesome.
I still love that episode where they just basically did like one big episode for just to and filled it to the brim with Beatles references.
Mm-hmm.
The Beatles. It was great. If you're trying to get into Christian Minecraft servers, then that's your problem.
I saw that. I just kind of ignored. Because,
Not my Christian Minecraft server. What are you talking about? Powerpuff Girls never got rebooted. Continues trying to shove new CN down the memory hole.
that's sad. You're probably right.
Oh man, is there even any point to continue watching Cartoon Network? I mean, well, let's see. Adventure Time is over with. I think Steven Universe is over with now, or is very close to it.
And let's be honest, Steven Universe, pretty much nothing more than SJW propaganda pretending to be a goddamn show. I'm just saying.
I mean, I've watched Steven Universe, and I've yet to really find anything that seemed really preachy about it. It's actually not that bad on the show.
I don't really trust it.
They never really preach anything at you. They just do a show. It's actually not that bad. The only thing that gets people annoyed is the fact that the show is off model a lot of times. Though to be fair, a lot of really good shows is off model, but because it's off model, there's a lot of inconsistencies with some of the character designs. But for the most part, I just kind of ignore that because I just like the story. I like some of the characters, and I definitely love the background work. Background's pretty good.
Well, for me, it's just it's. I never found anything in that show that caught my attention. It just constantly struck me as
they actually have a a single dad. Like Steven's dad is a single dad, and he's actually a pretty good dad. He's not a freaking retard like every other cartoon dad.
Oh wow, that's refreshing, I guess.
He is like one of the best dad characters I've seen in a good long while.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, it should be the exception, not the rule. I guess you could say. Like that's my problem. It is the fact that a lot of these problems are, oh well, we more often than not they get these characters and they're all always stupid. Oh, whoopty bam, stupid dad for the yuck, stupid dad. Yeah, enjoy it, love it.
There isn't really any characters in Steven Universe I really don't like. I mean, I didn't like Lars for a good long while, but even he gets kind of redeemed towards the end of his arc. He becomes pretty cool.
One moment, I'm gonna try them.
I think Amazing World of Gumball has ended, if not ended already. If it's not ended already, it's pretty close, which is sad because I really, really love Amazing World of Gumball. That was a great show. I think OKKO is still a thing. I haven't really watched a whole lot of OKKO, but the few episodes I've seen, I've kind of liked.
All right, I got an idea. This may or may not work.
Oh boy. Watch out, everybody. He's getting ideas.
Well, since I can't get it to work with the current setup, I should have probably done it like this. There we go. Put the world back in there. So,
there's Teen Titans Go, but I absolutely hate Teen Titans Go. I do not find it worthwhile at all in any way whatsoever. I think in the entire show, there's like one or two jokes I've laughed at and just cringed and got frustrated at everything else.
Alright.
Cool. What else is on Cartoon Network that isn't just reruns of stuff?
A lot of stuff. Alright, so what I'm doing is resetting up the server over here, right?
Right?
Like complete fresh, but replace the world.
Okay.
Delete the world, and then when we go back to my house, I'll just switch it back over. Or when I'm back
Right.
over my house. I'm hoping this works. We shall see. Alright. Gotta give it minutes.
I think Uncle Grandpa kind of just fell off the world, which I'm kind of sad about because I really didn't mind it too much. It didn't try to be anything more than what it was, which was just an episodic, goofy cartoon. And I actually kind of liked it for that reason. But I guess so many other people didn't like it, and it just fell off the face of the world. But they did have that crossover episode with Steven Universe, and that was pretty funny. It got pretty meta.
Meta's overrated. Unless it's followed by human.
I mean, the entire thing was just filled with nothing but jokes. I mean, like almost every character outside of Steven and Uncle Grandpa were lampooned. Like they were flanderized, just became joke parodies of themselves. They cracked some shipping jokes and all sorts of stuff. It was actually kind of funny.
Word.
And then every once in a while, Uncle Grandpa kind of pops up in the background of some other cartoons. Like I think there's like 2 or 3 episodes of Amazing World of Gumball where Uncle Grandpa just appears. That's kind of funny.
I'd say that one of the best shows ever that I felt didn't really receive a lot of love when it should have was actually the regular show.
Oh, dude, I love Regular Show. I'm glad that one at least got to go out on its own terms.
Bottom right.
See, and that's the thing. I never finished it. I think I've seen like bits like I haven't seen every episode. I've just seen I guess you could say a hodgepodge list. Let's try it now. Let's hope. I hope I
What do you mean? What do you mean, Marty? The entire episode was her melting down. Pearl was melting down the entire episode. It was fucking hilarious.
come on.
Honestly, though, Pearl's story throughout Steven Universe is actually kind of interesting. Because of the stuff she's got going on in her backstory. She actually has a lot more depth than you think she would have.
This is really starting to irritate me.
Still can't get the Minecraft stuff to work out.
Still can't get it working. Like every time I think I've figured out a way to get it to work, it's like, no. You're not having this work out for you, my friend. You're just going to get mad and want to punch things because that's what the server is doing. And everything that I've read on it is unhelpful, to say the least. Here, maybe you'll catch something in the Hangouts chat is the link to the error, or basically the search that I'm getting. I'm gonna move this over here so I can at least see the chat for the time being. I'm sorry, guys. I want to talk politics and bring y'all to like tasty eyeballs full of Minecraft, and I'm being denied. And I'm sad, panda, sad. You should be getting eyeballs full of awesome, delicious Minecraft. Like, I've disabled the firewall. I've put the firewall back, then put it back. And I've done everything I can think of. Oh, Jew. That's all I gotta say to that.
Yeah.
Maybe politically incorrect, but I don't care. It's still a great joke if used properly. Let's see. Okay, that's what I'm doing. Oh, okay. I'll have to get that. And then, all right. Yeah. Give me a few. I'm taking this. We will have delicious Minecraft. We will have delicious Minecraft.
One way or another.
One way or another, we're gonna get it.
Be really sad if we have to do a new world, because I just finished working on the underground fishing pond. You just had to fill it up with water. That took a while. That took a while to do.
Oh, I know. That's why I said, give me a minute. It's one of those. Just because we are having difficulties does not mean we are defeated. We are just having difficulties, and I will figure it out. It's just taking a few. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, sometimes, like, what I was gonna do is just say, like, if I was gonna use a third party to try to cheat.
Which IP are you using?
I did I checked the IPv4 on my computer before I gave my buddy that. Like I said, I have no clue. Let's see. Then where is the official? That. What kind of game would I make? That is a really interesting question. That's actually a damn good question.
I got two different games I wouldn't mind making. One is an RPG, another one is sort of a strategy / tech builder game. Kind of a weapon tycoon game.
See, only thing I can really think of is like shit that I'd already want to play. Like I would try to fuse like maybe similar to what's the name of the game? Tom Clancy's Endgame, I think is the name of it. But except it'd be that mix of like first person, third person shooter, or it could be RTS, like that type of game.
Mm-hmm.
I think those would be awesome if done right. That's the issue. It's about doing it correctly, because too much in one area and not enough in the other. Like, let's say it just is, so it's trying to do it in the RTS. The computer's so stupid that you're better off just taking control of random units and handling it yourself. Well, that's fun, yes, but you should be able to, if you want to, just delegate orders and let the computer handle the situations.
Right.
Like, that's the best way I can explain it. You don't want it. You don't want to have a, I guess you'd say, a too difficult, like a computer that's too dependent. You want it just the right balance of dependent and independent. There we go. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Trying to get back to what I had earlier. Like, there we go. Is that the right one? Mother. Fuck! I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm not about to lose my shit. Swear, I'm not about to lose my shit. You know what I mean? Oh. Okay. Get down to the, because I think it may be router side might be the issue.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a matter of fixing it there. Uh, no. Of course, it's like, buy our shit, suckers. You know what I mean? And no, I don't want to. Why are you? Stop telling me to buy stuff, game. God. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My fault. Seppuku now. Oh, seppuku. Shouldn't it just be roughly the same?
Jeez. No, I wasn't talking. I was trying to think of stuff.
You're always trying to think of stuff.
Yeah, that's my curse.
All right.
I'm always thinking.
You has the floor. Be right back.
All right. Well, how long have we been at this? We've been almost at this for an hour trying to figure this shit out. I'm not sure we'll be able to get Minecraft going. It's unfortunate. It should be simple to make Minecraft work. Minecraft is not that complicated of a game. I don't know why it has to do all these things. I'm not sure why Minecraft needs to be this hard just to get connected together. It's weird. Oh well, maybe Minecraft is more complex than I give it credit for. Simple does not equal us. Yeah. Also doesn't help that it is near impossible just to find solutions to problems like this. And it doesn't help that Mojang doesn't really have a customer service department to help with matters like this. That could definitely help out. Or maybe they do. Who knows? Wait a minute. They're having a live action Lilo and Stitch. Oh no. Why does everything need to be live action? Why? Hmm. I'm just going to pretend like I did not see that, and we're going to pretend like we never heard that. There's no such thing as live action Lilo and Stitch. It has never happened. Oh well. He looks like a cross between a blue Yoda with a gremlin. He's got like some gremlin features going on. It's kind of weird. I don't like it. Don't don't like it at all. It's gross. It's just gross. It's not cute or fluffy. It's just gross. Mm. Ugh, excuse me. Been drinking a lot of soda. Yeah, I definitely feel that Gorgonite, especially what they've been doing with Star Wars. I just want Disney to go away. Same thing with EA, but that feeling has been there for a lot longer than Disney. It used to be a Shelty before it got run over by a truck. I could barely remember the movie. I'm not too sure what the context for that line is. It's been too long. I remember used to watching the TV show where they had to get all of the other experiments because they got let loose all over Hawaii. That was a pretty good show.
All right. So we're gonna have to hold off on that for the time being.
Yeah, I figured since we haven't been able to get it done for like an hour now, I figured we have to.
Well, No, it is just gotta wait a little bit longer. Like Doug fell asleep, and the only other person that knows the info to the router is their son, which won't be back for well, should be back here soon. But
Okay.
so we will be playing. Just not quite yet. Give it time. Give
All
it
right.
time.
That's fair enough. We were just talking about live action Lilo and Stitch.
Live action ruins. Well, let's see. Prime example: live action Lion King. Sometimes some
It's
realism just
not
doesn't.
even live action Lion King. It's just high quality rendered animals in
Yeah,
a live action background.
pretty much.
It's just basically it's just basically the live action Jungle Book, but without the human kid.
No. Like one first mistake. They they didn't bring back Jeremy Irons to play uh Scar again. They didn't.
Yeah,
That's like mistake number one because I was watching
that,
the
that would
uh,
be great.
I was
The only thing I'm really going to be looking forward to with the thing I'll be looking forward to with the live action movie is to see how the Nazi scene goes.
you
It's
know
really the only thing I'm interested in.
that's funny because that song was stuck in my head. Be prepared.
Yeah,
Been stuck in my head like all fucking afternoon, evening, and it's a good song. I mean, it's what you'd expect from a Disney film, but
yeah,
yeah, the scene you're talking about.
but that would depend if they're going to do songs. I mean, they did songs for the live action for the live action Jungle Book, and it was actually and those were pretty good.
Yeah, but they had see a live action Jungle Book had a human actor there to play off of for,
Yeah,
if you will, I guess you could say comparison, if you will, or not comparison. That's not the right word. Reference. There we go. That's
yeah,
a better word. Reference. Without the human there, you're just like, okay, it's all CG. Because for all you know, that's a CG tree. That's you know what I mean. And
mm,
like you will probably be able to tell the scenes where they brought up the legit lions and whatnot, and the scenes where they just you know what I mean. The entire thing's CG. And I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. You know what I mean?
right.
I'd be so lying if I said that wasn't the case.
And for
Yeah.
what it's worth, I really did enjoy live action Jungle Book. So
I was unimpressed, to say the least. I like live action Jungle Book was basically like, I'm sorry, just how does that go? They were so busy thinking about what they can do, they forgot to ask if they should.
I said,
And,
I said I didn't mind it too much. I actually kind of liked it a lot. I liked Bill Murray Bear, and I also liked friggin' Mafia King Monkey Christopher Walken. They're pretty
mm,
great.
but to me, it's you can't beat the original, dude. You can't beat the original. I'm just saying. The original had so much like I mean, come on, they did kind of touch on it with King Louis being like, I wanna be like you and that's it. That's it. They didn't continue, they didn't go full musical number, they didn't no. It's like, Like, cats in real life aren't so expressive, so it's realistic real life cats. Cats have countless bites worth of pictures showing how expressive they are. Yeah, like cats are highly expressive. What are you talking about? My cat will. My cat uses his expressiveness to his advantage. He'll like come up and
There was
give.
like a tweet that was
He'll
going
give you like
around.
the. Huh?
There was like a tweet that was going around where they changed the CGI of the animals to look a bit more like their original, and they actually look pretty damn good.
Oh, okay. I realized how in darkness I was. The darkness. The darkness. Anyway, so back to the whole point of the matter. Even though, culture is always downstream from politics. Let's see, what else? Oh, yes, the picture I sent you of yeah, let me pop back to Twitter real quick. It was right after the school bit, the high school man up. That's what it was. The 30-second.
Yeah.
Denise Fiamingo was the one who posted it and showed it. And the high school Man Up program seeks to instill shame and self-disgust in boys for their sexual feelings, abusive and cult-like. And it's basically like, would you treat your mother that way? And the dude that they're showing looks like, I kid you not. It's like, that's what happens when you ingest the soy on a daily basis and like with nothing else.
Yeah.
Like you literally, like, we're talking like pink sweater, super nut hugger pants, like the you know what I'm talking about, the big old glasses like this.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, at what point how do I explain this? Feminists like to sit there and talk about how, oh, there's no war on men, but there's a war on women. Really, bitch? You have literal situations within, like, for instance, that's trying to make male sexuality, and men finding women attractive and things like that. Oh, the worst thing ever. But at the same time, if we were to say, like, oh, well, you have sex positive feminism, sex negative feminism, and the sex positive, though, if you were to try to shame the female body the same way that they're doing here, it would be ridiculous. The sex positive feminists would eat whoever decided to do it alive. I mean, literally alive. And on top of that, do these dumbasses not realize that without, sexual attraction, you cannot propagate the frickin' species? I'm just saying. One sec. Gotta cut the.
I recently had another run-in of people, trying to like defend women's rights to wear the hijab in like the Western world, and I kind of went in on them a little bit. You want to hear what I have to say on that?
Go ahead. I think my game just crashed. And
I told them, look, I live in the South, and in the South, the Confederate flag means something entirely different than what it means in the North. In the South, even to a lot of not a great majority of them, I will admit, but even to a good bit to the Black community, the Confederate flag stands for individual state rights, heritage, and all that stuff. But in the North, where pretty much all of America's culture comes from, in the North, the Confederate flag means nothing but traitors and slavery, white supremacy, and all that stuff. That's why I hate arguments based on symbolism, because symbolism will always change between individuals. Nothing will ever mean the same to enough people to where it actually gives a damn, right?
Oh no, no doubt, no doubt. That's
and a person in the South has the full right to wave the Confederate flag and have it mean whatever they damn well please, whether it be, the state rights and all that stuff. But they will still have to deal with people. A vast majority of people will look at their flag and say, hey, that's racist. That's about slavery. Take that down, right?
yeah. Oh
It
yeah.
is the exact same thing with the hijab, but on a larger, grander scale. Here in the West, we can full on say, hey, it's the woman's right to choose whatever she wants to wear, even if it is the hijab, whatever.
Yeah.
But every woman that chooses to wear the hijab has to understand that their view of it means jack shit and all to the grand scale of the world, where the symbolism of the hijab, even in some places in the West where women are forced to wear it, otherwise they'll get beaten by their husbands or their fathers, or get cast out of their house by their fathers or husbands, that
Yep.
it is a tool of female oppression. No, it doesn't matter how much good feelings you have about it. You can see it as an empowering thing, all you damn well please. But to the vast majority of people in the world, it is a tyrannical, oppressive cloth of religious doctrine, where if a woman does not wear it, they are a whore in the eyes of God, and they should be stoned for it.
Yep. But of course, it's once again, you're doing that one thing that the left doesn't like, called using, you're thinking logically, and two, you're not making excuses. You're not going, but my fifis, I need to protect my fifi. I'm just saying. I mean, it doesn't matter what, and context changes. Yes, and that's one of the things I try to explain to people. Context always will change, but if you are going to sit there and completely disregard context one instance, and then say this is how it is in another. I'm just saying you're showing your tribalism. You're showing your inability to actually have a nuanced conversation about any of these things. For instance, the hijab. All right, ask women in Iran who.
I have no idea how it's pronounced, and quite frankly, I really don't care. It's a piece of cloth that should be burned.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Like you can, but
I cannot respect it enough to even care about proper pronunciation.
So you're practicing the wrong think there. You're practicing the wrong think. You don't you're supposed to know how to properly pronounce it.
And it's like, they should realize like how bad it is for women in like the Middle East and many other Middle Eastern Muslim majority areas, and in families where, yeah, you might empower women by wearing the hijab depending on the woman, but for every one woman you empower while wearing the hijab or the hijab or whatever the hell it's called, you are siding with the oppression of hundreds more by wearing it. You are making the statement that it is all right for women to be oppressed in a patriarchal system ordained by a god.
But that's cool. You're making too much sense. You're speaking too much logic. No, we can't have the logic. Logic bad, just like Orange Man bad.
It is like how these anti-religious leftists are all against Christianity, despite how defanged and powerless Christianity is nowadays because of all the reformations and internal revolutions it had. But yet they're perfectly fine with the religion of Islam, which has not gone through the defanging process that Christianity has went through. It is 100 times more violent and oppressive than Christianity is today. But they're perfectly fine. They actually want to protect it. It's weird. I don't know how a lot of the people today can like have these very opposite thought processes that are so polar opposite to each other that their heads don't implode from the great distance of cognitive dissonance.
It's simple, dude. One, because of the fact that you have to take into account, for instance, Obama's presidency. All right, how many conservatives constantly said, "Oh well, Obama's a Muslim. Obama's a Muslim. Obama's this. Obama's that." Didn't matter if he was a Muslim, as I've gotten on to several people. Who cares if Obama's Muslim? Who cares? So Obama's Muslim. And this affects me in what way? He, like, you can have a president that you disagree with religiously, all right? That's not the problem. Now, if you were to say Obama's putting other countries' needs before America, okay, I have no problem with that. If you say Obama's pushing intersectionality way too much, and it's going to, you know, as I've stated before, y'all know, heard me say it before, and I'll say it again. Intersectionality and Obama's push is where the Second American Civil War is going to come from. Because no one dared to sit there and go, oh, well, you know, this is all you're doing is stirring up shit, and sooner or later, someone's going to be president other than you, you know, because you only got the 2 terms. What are you going to do then? You think the next president's going to have the same defense that you have of being black? No. Think about that. And I like that. Women in the Middle East before Islamic Revolution could wear whatever they wanted, could go anywhere by themselves, could voice their opinions without fear of death, got an education. Yeah.
One of the most depressing things to ever see on Twitter is those, hey, here's this country at this specific time. Here's the country now that it is under Islamic regime control. And you have like these diverse like culture people walking around enjoying their lives, men dressing nice, women in like great dresses or in bikinis, all having a great time, and then it moves over to like present day where practically everyone's wearing a black blanket all over themselves.
Well, that's the thing. What happened is, like, you also have to take into account the Middle East prior to the separation of all the different sects of Islam, because that's where a lot of the problems come from. The prior to that separation, they were a very prospering country. You were having countless, you know, mathematic and scientific breakthroughs coming through there. I'm just saying, yes. And that's the thing I try to explain to people. What's been going on in the Middle East was roughly like, might have not have happened had it not been for the Crusades. They might have been able to not do anything, but like, or should not so much do anything. They wouldn't have had that happen had it not been for the Crusades. They might not have become so fractured had the Crusades not practically decimated the entire Middle East in the name of spreading Christianity and spreading the Lord's word. Yeah, let's be honest, it was a power.
In full honesty, the Crusades did more damage to Europe than it really did the Middle East. It
But
was kind of pathetic.
It's what started the fracturing within Islam. The Crusades.
Well, no, the fracturing kind of started at the death of Muhammad. They had to shoot the Sunni Shia split, and at that point, the Muslim nations were like, I'd rather see the entirety of Islam burn than have the other people be the dominant people.
It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck. Get my ass kicked.
Because it's sort of like how a lot of European lords were like. You came to the same thing with the Middle Eastern lords when it came to like religion. It's like, I don't like the Sunnis, so I'm going to give the Crusaders stuff to not attack me, but to attack the Sunnis. And it was the same thing with the Sharia people. It's the Muslims have more themselves to blame for a lot of their issues than the Europeans. And if it wasn't for the split, the Europeans would not have been able to do as much damage as they were able to pull off.
Well, whether it's how do I put it, it's still a situation where had we not gotten involved this time, for instance, Iraq, who wasn't having they won, damn it, but who wasn't having any problems prior to us going in there, i.e., with terrorism, things like that, and then look at the Iraq. I viewed it the same thing just 1,000 years ago. It allowed things to spread. It allowed things to more easily fracture, and they just left the Middle East alone.
And then a lot of issues that occur today can also be a lot more attributed to the Red Scare, where a lot of nations tried to do whatever they could to stop the spread of communism into the Middle East, which involved, and also South America, which involved funding a lot of rebel groups, which then turn into today's terrorist groups that we have to fight against.
Yep, that's no lie. That's no lie at all.
Like Osama bin Laden. He was actually at one point in time one of America's allies.
Yep, and then, the 87, I do believe, like 85. No, I think like 85 Afghan war.
Yep, we gave him weapons and everything, and training and everything he needed to fight against the communist sympathizing leaders of Iraq, I think. And then, oh hey, now that we don't have to worry about the communists anymore, now we gotta destroy the rebellion we helped create. We helped get to power.
Yep. And it's like, well,
and how do we do that? Oh, we can Osama's forces by funding even more rebellions, just to weaken him, so we can go in and take care of him ourselves. And now we got ISIS.
Yep. Well, ISIS was technically back to help us with places like Libya, Syria, things like that. But we're not going to go into how that massively blew up in our fucking face. You'd think we would have learned to stay the fuck out of the Middle East by now, but no, we got to keep going in there. Give me a bit.
We got to get in there and create more goddamn problems we have to solve. We stopped 1 week and ended up starting 5 more as a result. Goddamn headache. But hey, we got at least we get that sweet Saudi Arabian oil. Gotta have that Saudi Arabian oil. I think Africa has more of a right to complain about European intervention than the Middle East ever does. Because, well, yes, there's some things going on in the Middle East you can't blame Europe for. A vast majority of the problems stem from the Middle East screwing itself over with stuff. Just like with most other nations, with most other countries. Well, a lot of their problems are their own are their own fault, with very little having to do with outside influences. I think Africa, for the most part, can pretty much entirely blame Europe. Also, it's not so much because of colonialism, but more because of resource exploitation. Like like no European really wanted to live in Africa. They didn't want to colonize. They just want to get the Africans to give them stuff. I think the only time like any European really wanted to stay in Africa was the Boers. And that was because they really didn't like the Dutch. Like they were Dutch who didn't like the Dutch. They wanted to do their own thing, and then the Dutch decided to sell the colony to Britain, and the Boers were like, "No, we don't want to be near the Brits either, so we're just going to go further inland."
All right. I think I'm finally set into.
And by the time the Boer were they're going further inland, the South Africans, which were basically the Zulu, were busy like killing each other to not really give a damn about who was coming into their territory. Just like with most native people, like in North America, South America, Africa, they're all pretty much busy like killing and enslaving one another to really care about the white people coming in.
Yeah, and that's rather ironic. And then when you point out that the Dutch developed South Africa and whatnot, they go, yeah, but what they did with the, you know what I mean? What they did, all the apartheid. There we go.
Yeah, the apartheid. Yeah.
Like, sorry, I'm looking at the router and I'm trying to get everything set up without messing with too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, all right, and I want to make sure that I have the right information. This way, when I do start resetting the port forwarding myself, I can for sure say, all right, this is what we're doing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, the African nations definitely did not do themselves a favor. Like, I highly doubt you'll find anybody outside of maybe like the Asians who hate their own kind more than the Africans. Like, holy crap, man. Yeah, Africans do not like other Africans in the least bit. Like even today, like a lot of Africans don't like blacks at all. And by blacks, I mean like descendants of the Africans who basically lived and died in Europe and America, or even ones who move to Europe or America. The Africans don't like them anymore. It's weird.
When you're so determined to make sure that you do this right, you're like checking even the what you call it, the exact model number.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fuck this up. I want us to be able to play, god damn it. We must be able to play.
So So, are we going to talk, speaking of like foreign interests, are you going to talk about Donald Trump's latest 4D chess move?
Which one?
The
The
one
same.
with the sanctuary cities?
I love that. I love that. That was the smartest move ever, and it's such a dick move at the same time.
Oh,
Like,
you want your sanctuary cities so that way your precious illegal immigrants can have a place to stay here in America? All right, then I'll just funnel every single illegal alien into the sanctuary cities.
but don't you know that's wrong. You're not doing it right. Why would you do that, Trump? We need you're
What problem do you have with what Trump did, you bigot?
but we want
Bigot?
we want them throughout the whole country though. Not just
But then they'll get arrested. But if you put them in your sanctuary city, they won't be arrested. Do you want these people to be arrested?
free. Just saying. I'm triggered.
So triggered.
Yes, so triggered. Just saying. Like, come on. Get the fuck over yourselves.
Like I know the 4D chess thing is a meme. I know Trump probably isn't that politically inclined to really do political 4D chess, but he does have his moments.
Oh, dude, and look at how they're acting.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the problem I have. It's like, look, you want people to respect your wishes at the end of the day, but at the same time,
It's like, look, my dudes, I know you don't like this. I know you don't like this stuff that's happening, but come on, you need to act appropriately at the adults' table. If you keep throwing these tantrums, we have to put you at the kiddie table.
But don't you know, that's exactly what they want to do. They want to throw these same tantrums every time. Every time. And when they throw them, they want to be. When you try to say, hey, you know, stop doing this. Why are you doing this? We don't, you know what I mean? We don't like it. They immediately go, my white nationalism, my this, my that. And it's like,
Yeah.
there aren't it's like the Candace Owens thing, prime example.
Oh boy.
Well, don't you agree it is? It's the fact how Ted Lieu plays a comment of hers completely out of context. Like there's no oh well there's no amount of oh well you see what had happened. What no. You went complete full like out of context, didn't bother to like give her a chance to follow up anything.
Mm-hmm.
And you are now trying to go, oh, well, what you notice how the left hasn't talked about it, or like any of the left wing media, should they, haven't talked about it.
Right.
They haven't because they know that they got called out on their fucking bullshit that they themselves were doing. They knew better than to do that. They knew they were in the wrong for it, and they didn't care. And when they got called out for it, like Nadler, please refrain from calling a member of this board stupid, you know, any name. I didn't call him a name. You called him stupid, and then when he got called on his lacking of paying attention, what did he do? Shrugged.
Yeah. It's like at this point they're not even trying anymore.
Oh, they're trying, but see, they think that it's how do I put it? They think their woke virtue signaling is what's going to be what saves them, is what gets them, 2020. And it's like, dude, you do realize nobody at this point likes you anymore because of the fact that, look, every opportunity that they've had to make amends with the right, to stop acting stupid, so on and so forth, what did they do? Every time. They decided that they're going to double, triple, quadruple down. They decided that they're going to sit there and blame everyone else for the things that they themselves did. It didn't matter, the best way to put it, it didn't matter if they were in the right, it didn't matter if they were in the wrong. There were areas where they were in the right, but the way they decided to do things is what made it to where they were wrong. I mean, take Kavanaugh. Okay, you could sit there and they could have easily said, look, we don't want somebody who's that religious on the Supreme Court. They could have properly rebutted him, had the vote, and hey, you lost it, bite the bullet. You should have, as soon as you got the one, soon as they shouldn't have let Obama have his, Supreme Court nominee with a normal majority. Because prior to that, it was supermajority.
Right.
Think about that. That right there changed the entire dynamic of the situation. Without the supermajority to keep the supermajority, the whole point there is it was meant to be, if we want to get our guy going through, and we're it can go either way, you know what I mean? Right. We got to actually talk to the Democrats. We got to make sure to work with them to get this guy.
Right.
And vice versa. Democrats wanted to get their guy on the Supreme Court, they had to work with Republicans. It encouraged the parties to work together appropriately. Compared to what they're doing now, which is pretty much screeching autistically and carrying on no, that didn't fix it, huh? And carrying on they don't have any sense. And that's the part that really drives me the most nuts, is they do know better. Everyone knows that they know better. They've shown time and again. They've shown when they really had to work together, they were willing to work together. What happened? What changed? You know what I mean? Why did they decide that it was easier to just say fuck all and do your own and start acting this way?
Yeah. Even though it would set pretty bad precedents, I believe that at this point in time, the president should just do everything through executive order. Just don't even bother with Congress anymore. No point.
The reason why I say that is you do not want to, okay, one of the things that drives me nuts about Obama is his whole, well, if I can't do it through Congress, I have a pen. Where he is threatening to do things through executive order. No, this is not a monarchy. We do not have kings. They cannot just come in and go, oh, well, we're going to make this the new way things are done because I
just don't want to keep having to validate the Congress when they just keep acting like schoolyard children. It's becoming more of a headache than it's really worth.
Well, and that's
get anything get done nowadays now.
But that's what happens, dude. See, what we have here is a chance for us to be able to grow as a nation and actually start working together. But the thing that's becoming a problem is you have this, like I said before, the 8% of the according to the Hidden Tribes report, that 8% is the ones that are causing all the problems. One second.
Figured out something.
I'm hoping to. Uh, uh, uh. Uh, like, but you get the, like I said, I'm hoping I found what it may be. Wait, did I? Maybe that's what I did wrong. I forgot to. I might have. Let me double check. 'Cause- do, But yeah, dude, no. But the point I'm making is we are in a situation where we have the political parties just fighting each other and fighting each other and fighting each other. They're not getting anywhere. They're like they.
Yeah, which is why I said, despite knowing he's going to set back president, I'd rather just have the president just bypass Congress completely and make them think about how useless they have become and start working together to try and combat a dictator to show, hey, it's kind of important that we work together.
They wouldn't change nothing. You know that.
But even then, but if they don't get their shit together, then at least we still have someone that's able to get something done.
Well, but that's the thing. The new Democrat Party slogan is which, mind you, under Obama, it was the Republican mantra. I'm not going to act like it wasn't, but obstruct, obstruct, obstruct. That's the
Yeah.
and that it's not one side, just one side, or the other doing it. It's both sides. They're both quick to just obstruct the other party because they think, oh well, if we obstruct them long enough,
Yeah, and
around.
while I do blame the Republicans for doing that, I will still think lesser of Democrats for firing back with the same tactic instead of being the bigger man, because they know it's a problem to do obstruct, obstruct, obstruct. They know why it's a huge problem for literally everybody, but yet they just decide to do the turnaround instead of doing the right thing and trying to bring at least something of a middle ground going on. They just rather put the tactic right back to use against the
Middle ground?
Republicans.
What's that? Yeah, you got to remember, all right. And it's like the thing that's been pointed out by several people at this point. All right, when it comes to the left, like they had basically this past election, the our presidential election, they had someone who might on almost all their models had it said it had been an easy victory, but they did and that was Bernie.
Right.
Oh, I see what I did wrong. But instead of it being what he was supposed to have been, which is the nominee, what did they do? They just apply, save. All right. But instead, they were like, well, we got to give it to Hillary, this, that, and the other, because Hillary was the one that was, quote, unquote.
It's her turn.
No, it wasn't.
It's 2016. We gotta have the female president.
Yeah, no, well, it wasn't her turn to begin with, dude.
It was never her turn.
And that's the problem, is they keep acting like it was. And it's like, look.
And then when she lost, instead of recognizing that there were several flaws with her campaign strategy, they're like, it was all Bernie's fault. Him and his Bernie bros.
Yeah, it's all Bernie's fault. When everyone was telling you, and even Bernie backed her. Granted, I'll be one of the first people to point out, he probably backed her because he knew it was a or else situation. You know what I mean?
I still find it funny that he spent his entire campaign fighting against political corruption, and then just immediately started to like promote and prop up one of the most potent literal representations of political corruption.
Mm-hmm. But
Just immediately sell out literally everybody, throw his entire principal under the bus with little to no fight whatsoever.
What are you expecting, dude? This is you're let me see. Okay.
And speaking of Bernie, have you heard the latest thing that has happened at one of his rallies? So he did like a public rally or town hall or something. It was just
Are you talking about where CNN stacked the CNN putting the people there that were members of the Democratic Party that they shouldn't have had there? Okay.
No.
They did do that.
No. This was recent. This was recent. It's like just happened.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, they're like doing like a free public thing, you know, and I can't remember her name, but I think it was like one of the women who was like involved with InfoWars, I think.
Laura Loomer?
Not hers, also someone else, but yeah, she wanted to sit down, to listen, to pay attention, and one of the staff members demanded her to leave.
It was.
From what I can tell, she wasn't really doing anything, and one of the staff members like, "Yeah, no, you gotta go."
Was it an open event? Was it open to the?
Yeah, it was a free public thing. It was a free public thing.
He should.
And they demanded her to leave, and the police were forced to escort her out, even though most of the police officers were saying, "Yeah, no, you didn't do anything wrong. This shouldn't be happening, but we have a job to do."
They shouldn't have been able to do it, but
yeah, like if you truly believe she did nothing wrong, why are you doing this? Do you have literally no obligation to drag her out?
Yep. And unfortunately, though, we're dealing with individuals who don't care about right, wrong. It's why it's like the big thing within private conversations and even on, for instance, Twitter and whatnot, just honk honk.
Yeah.
On world, honk honk. No point. No point in getting mad. No point in dealing with it. Because quite frankly, it is becoming so ridiculous, so pointless to even bother trying to explain this shit anymore.
Yeah,
because of the fact.
There it is.
Let's see. It's become so ultimately ridiculous for the way things have become. Yeah, rolls for thee, not for me. Yep, that's pretty much this. On every government thing, we have always had one schmuck who thinks their main job is to put N and O together, at least when it comes to diplomacy or middle ground stuff. Yeah, and now we got like Ocasio-Cortez and Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib constantly coming out, and they're like, oh, because Dan Crenshaw, for instance, said that it was her comment about what was it? Some people did something. You know what I mean? At one point, it's like that's completely like if you're supposed to be a congressman, I do believe,
right.
No, senator. You're supposed to be a senator. Act like it. And that's the thing. She's not acting like it. She's acting like a spoiled, like, she's acting like that kid that's always gotten their way. And,
Yeah.
like, it's pretty much, best way to describe it, she's always gotten her way, and now that she's being told no, and now that she's being told, hey, you can't act like this. It's like, for instance, and they're saying, it's unacceptable. And Dan Crenshaw's inciting violence for saying that's unacceptable and that she shouldn't be acting like that. No. You fucked up. You are the one who has to deal with what she did wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's ridiculous that instead, no one's trying to tell her that she's wrong. No one's trying to say that, you know what I mean, anything to her. They're just trying to pretty much, they are leading with their tribalism because that's the only thing that they know at this point. They only know tribalism. They don't know working together. And
they're only in it for their own selfish gains. They don't care about doing anything for anybody else.
no,
They'll sell out their comrades and they'll sell out their mothers if they could get a drop of clout or a quick buck out of it.
right? I mean, and the them coming out, for instance, with the Clown World meme is a prime example of that. The fact that Elon Omar talking about some individual professor she knew or whatever, whenever he'd Tim Pool downplayed it, but I'm sorry, what she was talking about was he would say Al Qaeda, Hezbollah, things like that with pride. He'd bring his shoulders back, stand up straight. Al Qaeda, Hezbollah. And the way she presented it, it's like, no. What you're saying is that basically, in a nutshell, these individuals, whoever it was, would speak highly of this, and now people are coming down on you for talking about how you were so proud of that and so happy about it and so on and so forth, when you should be having allegiance to this country, not to them.
Yeah.
And it really is pathetic. It's and it's not even rules for thee, rules for thee, but not for me. It's rules in general that I don't have to follow, but I'm going to tell everyone else that they have to follow. Because why not? Because, we don't care about actually having some consistency. We are all about having much tribalism, and yeah, that's it. If we can't, we as long as we have much tribalism, we're happy. And it's like, you do realize that as long as you have nothing but tribalism, you're going to cause nothing but problems because no one has any. I guess you could say no one has any incentive to work forward. You know what I mean? To work past them, if you will.
Right.
So I think I might be able to do something now with this. Not yet, but I'm getting there. I keep adding a port, it's disappearing. So that's the problem. The port's not staying. So, yeah, it gets a bunch of ridiculous. Oh, look, the same mentality European nobility had in regards to law enforcement. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of nobility and risk stuff, did you hear about the new cookie that's in America now?
Mm-mm.
Oh
No.
boy, there's like a whole new thing. Okay, so there was like a new species or whatever of chocolate found called rose chocolate, I think. And this woman somehow managed to get a shipment of it, so she's like the only person in America that owns this new type of chocolate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she decides to do something special with it, right? What she wound up doing is that she made this cookie made out of this rose chocolate. But not only that, but she wrapped it in a sheet of 24 karat gold. Then she had a mold of a stiletto heel of like a very like a very very rich stiletto heel, very very, very expensive. Filled that mold up with milk chocolate, I think, and then within the chocolate stiletto, she propped up the gold covered cookie and also put in it a pearl necklace, and it's like $1,000 for this cookie.
And what's the problem?
$1,000.
Yeah, she put a lot of gold and a lot of. I understand it's going to be expensive. The minute you were saying like the sheet of gold and things like that, I'm like, so what? The problem is it's expensive. Like,
The thing, it's like, why would you do all of this for a cookie? Like I understand it's a new chocolate that has been recently made, and you can't get it anywhere else in America. That in of itself is going to make it pretty expensive. But then you just go the extra mile by wrapping it in literal gold and then prop it up in a solid chocolate stiletto with a pearl necklace. And like, as far as I'm aware of, that's like the only way you can really get this cookie. I mean, she could have other cheaper ways of doing it, but as far as I'm aware of, this is like the only way you can get it in America. So I'm like, why exactly?
I like. I don't know, dude.
Look, it's your business. If you somehow got your hand on it, you can do whatever you want with it. It's just very confusing. I highly doubt not that many people are just going to drop $1,000 just to get a cookie.
Well, no.
Granted, like now you're getting the cookie, but you're also getting the gold, the chocolate stiletto, and the pearl necklace. But it's like, again, it's just why. That's a whole lot more effort than anyone else is really going to bother with.
Yeah, I don't see the point in being offended by it. It's her money.
I'm not offended. I'm just very perplexed as to why she thought this was all worth it.
Why not? I like it. I was hungry, so I ate like 4 of those cookies. Big mistake. What's up, DC? You want in? Or are you kind of doing your own thing tonight?
And then plus I decided to get cheeky with my perplexion and just basically made a crack about being French and rich people,
Right. It's, I like that. The whole bit about doing a drive-by. Everyone duck!
Oh no.
Well, good to see you around DC.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Mm-hmm. But it's one of those, you're always welcome on any of my live streams still. Yeah, I like that. Pew, pew, pew. But you're still welcome on the live streams. I don't even know why you're... I don't know the story. I know you'll fill me on what happened when you are ready. It's just all I know is that you kind of disappeared, and that's it.
I just found a pretty funny meme.
Right.
It's one of
Bacon pancakes. Bacon pancakes.
it's like that meme of the guy yelling at a mob. Like he says one thing, the mob is happy, and then he says another thing, and the mob is angry.
Mm-hmm.
The guy yells out, "A corporation needs 50% male board members and 50% female board members. The crowd is happy. The mob is happy." Then he says, "A child needs a mother and a father." Then the mob gets angry.
That's funny. It's true, though. It's true. I get mad with one and not the other. I'm just saying.
I mean, hey, if we're supposed to have diversity here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I forgot. It's only okay when it's your tribe. You get to have, mother and father. And the father hates himself and wants to just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right.
Orange soda's starting to come back on me.
I don't think we'll be able to get it going, at least for the stream, but at the very least, I'm not going to give up. Is this a solution? Okay.
ANAOT episode 4, Minecraft edition. This time without the Minecraft.
Right. I'm going to change that in the title, Minecraft Denied Edition.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh man, okay. So
the one show that's so hot, even Minecraft can't have it. Minecraft can't handle this.
Right. All right. And then Alright,
So, did you hear about the new droid that's going to be in the new Star Wars?
I don't know, because I haven't even seen the trailer yet. I guess let you and Chris talk about Star Wars, because you know what? Y'all are the ones who know it, not me.
The reason why I want to bring this up is because a funny thing happened because of that droid, and the moment I tell you the droid's name, you'll probably have an idea of what the funny thing that's been happening has happened.
Okay.
The droid's name is Dio. Dio.
Okay.
So I think you can imagine what funny thing has been happening because of that.
Like, the only thing granted, I'm not really catching what you're putting. I'm not picking up what you're putting down. I'm just like, whatever. I'm not seeing it.
It's JoJo. It's JoJo.
Oh. Okay. That's why I haven't seen JoJo, so.
Just an endless string of JoJo memes everywhere that new droid is mentioned. It's Dio. It's Dio everywhere.
So let me try that.
You thought it was a new droid for Star Wars, but it was I, Dio.
And I'm not even gonna act like I like that. I'm even, yeah. Dude. Honestly, I'm just like, whatever. Let it be. Star Wars is killing itself.
You thought you were getting an endearing new Star Wars character, but it is I, Dio.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking Caitlin Bennett, so it was. Campus Gun Girl.
Yeah.
You know, I just find I find her to be needlessly, what's the word? Or what's the right way to put it? I feel as if she's constantly trying to be controversial needlessly.
Well, this time around she doesn't even try. She just sits down and gets asked to leave.
Yeah, no, that I agree with.
This time she didn't even try to be controversial. They just made her controversial for no reason. It's
Well,
great. It's freaking hilarious.
doesn't surprise me. I mean, to me, it's all right. Let's try this. See, hopefully the one little thing I was able to save it. So hopefully, I
Wait,
got it.
Ahsoka is back? What? Is Ahsoka going to be in the movie? I didn't hear anything about that. I'd rather she not be in the movie because then they'll freaking ruin her. Same sense, I'm pretty sure they're going to ruin Sheev, Big Dick, Dark Energy, Palpatine.
Dude, Star Wars has been dead. Let's just be honest. We all knew it was going to die. We all knew how it was going to die. It was just a matter of.
I'm pretty sure they're going to ruin the Mandalorians too.
Oh yeah, you already know they're going to. No, don't even.
I'd rather not. I like my Mandalorians. I'm a Mandalorian. Don't ruin my Mandalorians, goddammit.
Right? No, come on. Look at what they did with Star Trek. All right, Star Trek, the most already woke, like I guess you could say, a franchise out there. It was already woke. It just was proper woke. It wasn't like modern woke. You know what I mean? And
no, they're going to bring her for the final season of Clone Wars, which I am not going to watch because the only way to watch it is on that shitty Disney Plus service.
are you really surprised?
I was very excited to hear he was making a comeback, but then when I saw it was only for a new streaming service, I'm like, no, please, no.
Like I said, you're still acting surprised. And
the thing is, Gorgonite, I did not mind the pacifist thing because in the Clone Wars, that was new. That's a new thing for the Mandalorians. They still had that terrorist sect that wanted to go back to the old ways. They added something new to it, which was very interesting. The Mandalorians tried to be something different, and that's because, hey, they're like on the verge of ruin because of all the wars they tried to be in. Like, because of all the wars, they pretty much almost went extinct a lot. I mean, technically, the actual Mandalorians are pretty much extinct. All that's left is just all the mercenaries that decided to become Mandalorians, and now we have their descendants. And it's a whole complex thing, but I did not mind.
Didn't the Mandalorians also interbreed with a lot of those mercenaries? So you do still have some genetically, like, some people do have some of the Mandalorian genetic markers. It's just that
it's just so diluted because of the so many people, so many genes added to the pool, and just over time.
No, I get it.
Yeah, but I was saying, like, I don't mind the pacifist thing because it added something new and interesting to the Mandalorian story, the story of the Mandalorians, where it does make sense because, like, again, they've had so many moments where they were almost wiped out because of all the wars they went through, and considering how consolidated the Republic became, over the course of time, it made sense that it would become pacifist and not be completely and utterly wiped out. But they did go back into being war bringers because of Darth Maul. So now we're back to them being, a band of very violent mercenaries.
We're gonna see. We're gonna try something. At least I am. Just waiting for it to complete new world. If we gotta restart and do a new world and just fuck with mine once we get back to my house, or once I'm back at my house, then we'll have to. It's just, unfortunately, sometimes these things happen. There's nothing we can do to stop it.
And plus, I was also kind of interested in the Obi-Wan romance with the Queen of the Mandalorians. That was kind of interesting. All right, you have a good one, DC.
Later, DC. Sorry, I haven't been. I'm trying to get us some Minecraft set up, and it is denying us. It is denying us at every turn. I've been fighting with this since we started to stream, and I'm about to scream. All I want to do is play some goddamn Minecraft. All I want to do. That's all I want to do.
Like, we just want some Minecraft.
Right? It's like, come on, man. Come on. We were going to talk politics. We were good. We weren't talking shop throughout the entirety of us playing. We were just building, doing our thing. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Motherfucker. So mad right now. I'm so mad. Like, I look like I'm calm, cool, and collected, but I'm really like 3 seconds from losing my shit.
I will admit, Satine tried a bit too hard at times to remain neutral when she should have. Do some confrontation every now and again, but it was whatever. I wasn't all as much interested in Satine. I was more interested in the actual new society of the Mandalorians, and you can kind of tell even a lot of the citizens weren't too big of fans of the whole pacifist route because of how easily the Death Watch was able to convince people to go warlike very quickly. Just need the right push, and then all hands were off.
Don't know what you're talking about, man.
It's Clone War stuff.
Oh, no. I'm being. Well, I literally don't know what you're talking about, but I'm having a laugh. I'm not like I said. I'm Star Trek. Star Trek. I admit this. It's y'all have seen me. I can sit here and talk hours. Fuck all ever.
The one thing I especially love with the Clone Wars was the Mon Calamari arc, where everything was all underwater. That was pretty tight. And we had like our first like very visceral, gory scene on that show, which was pretty great, considering it was still on Cartoon Network at the time when that happened. Ooh, that was rough.
Cartoon Network doing something that people can't stand? Never.
Like the enemy leader for the big bad for that arc was a alien shark guy, right? And he was trying to
shark,
and he was trying to assassinate like the prince of the world before he could try and bring peace between the two primary races of Mon Calamari, and he had that prince with some fucking baller ass shit on people. I mean, holy crap. He when the shark general tried to like basically like do feeding frenzy on the prince. The prince like shoved like a thermal detonator like into his mouth, and he freaking exploded in a bloody explosion. Like there was like blood, there's like blood mist in the water slowly seeping down, and we just see like the guy's like head with his eyes rolled back and mouth open, just slowly sinking, like a shark head just slowly sinking. It's like, god damn.
Oh yeah. Try
I was
something.
surprised they managed to get that through on Cartoon Network.
Right. I'm going to try something. Oh, all right. Now let's try this. Is it going? It's going. It's going. Mother, fuck you, mother. I'm cool. No point getting mad. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, good. I'd have been mad if I just fucked that up too. Just like, go figure. Wait. Maybe that. Yeah, that's fine. Not working.
Apparently, Andy Worski got himself into even more shit.
Wait, I thought him and Miles, Ian Chong or whatever were in the middle of some shit.
Apparently now there's like some like aggravated assault stuff going on now. Apparently, Matt Trent is like talking about it.
Matt's generally good at knowing stuff. Let's see. What is the? Wait a second. I can figure this out. All right, pop quiz hotshot gets because I don't know. What type of service would Flash be? Because I don't have jar to pop up. Would it be HTTP?
Maybe.
Try that.
I normally don't deal a whole lot with Flash.
Say that again. You don't deal a lot with Flash?
Yeah, I don't do a whole lot of stuff with Flash. Outside of like whenever I download a game that requires Flash.
See, that's the problem I'm having, I think, because I think it's not saving because it's wanting a application, but I can't. Like if I click services, the application name.
Right.
I'm gonna be so mad. I'm gonna be so fucking mad. Like if it's what I think it is. Oh man, if it's what I think it is.
I still want a Star Wars movie that's basically The Godfather, but it's with Hutts and Mandalorians.
Right? I guess. I don't know.
That'd be so good.
Hold on. Cop.
Does that have a whole movie about Hutt gangsters?
Okay, right. All right.
Intergalactic crimes.
Intergalactic, planetary, intergalactic.
Yeah, exactly, Neo. Exactly.
I'm gonna be, oh God, if it's that simple, I'm just gonna be pissed. I'm so gonna be pissed. So gonna be pissed. I don't, okay, I'm gonna go all the way up to the top, see if it's, nope. And, oh, 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 oh. Itch, 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 itch. It might have been something so freaking simple. I'm gonna be so mad if that's all it was. Oh, I'm gonna be so mad. If I actually get this working, you're about
Like
to.
I had movie ideas for Star Wars. Like I had my own sequel trilogy in mind, which involves mostly around Luke. But then I also had another idea for a movie where it was more about the consequences of the downfall of the Empire, as well as like the death of Jabba the Hutt. And well, like the Outer Rim, like sort of imploding on itself with the power vacuum, and in a republic that's trying to form itself while trying to maintain order and kind of doing terrible at both. All these ideas would have been way more interesting than the sequel trilogy we got now.
Dude, there's all I gotta say is, if nothing else, at least look at it like this: you're not the only one getting screwed and done dirty right now.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it is a. I guess you could say it's a multiple thing. Everyone's getting it. It's try specific. Okay, going to let's try this. Try this now. But it's like you really can't be surprised anymore with the way things have gone. It's all become pretty much my tribalism, my petty tribalism. It,
yeah,
it, 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 that's all Star Wars, Star Trek, comic book, tabletop gaming, and that includes magic. That's not what any of these things become. The
yeah. I pretty much like already told some people it's like I need to find me a new space opera to like. Well,
like
at least there's still Dune, right?
yeah, for how long? Do you like? Come on, dude. If they get the first Dune movie right, all right, because you know they're going to set it up to be a franchise. They may get like the first one right, but what about the ones after the first one?
I actually still need to. I actually need to rewatch Dune because it's been so long since I've watched it. I might as well just say it'll be like I'm watching it for the first time. I was,
Probably.
I was like a freaking I was almost a freaking baby whenever I watched Dune.
Well, I mean, Dune is a great movie. Don't get me wrong. It's a bit slow if you don't have patience for actual like. There's a lot of like legit like political theater in it. Like they tried their best. You know what I mean? I give them credit for that.
But
But I'm not entirely sure.
you know what, Neo? That idea that you got right there, that idea you got, you know what setup that would have been perfect for? That would have been perfect for Solo. But that's not what we got for Solo. We got something different for Solo.
We got Lando being pretty much shat on, and I don't like to think about Star Wars. Or I should say, I don't like thinking about the what has become of Star Wars, because the same thing has become of everything. Then really, what do you expect? We're talking about a bunch of leftists that think that the only way they can do anything is through
Right?
controlling the narrative, even though most of them can't even spell narratives.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, there's no surprise most of these guys are like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just a SJW. I'm gonna sit here and virtue signal, and I'm gonna expect everyone to buy my crap, even though no one does. Don't make fun of me.
Gorgonite, you wanna know what's like my favorite thing about the dark side, specifically when it comes to the Force? You could do a lot more shit with the dark side than you ever could the light side. I mean, the dark side has sorcery and alchemy in it. What? Crazy shit.
I'm giving up.
You can even create like monsters out of the dark side of the Force and make them into reality. It's crazy.
All right, I'm giving up on that, dude. I'm starting to get a headache from trying to
just giving up on Minecraft.
Yeah, it's like I said, the stream's going to be redubbed Minecraft Denied.
Yeah, we were probably coming on close to like the third hour of the stream.
And I've just been sitting here to see 8, 9, 10, 2.5. I mean, just fighting. Yeah, just me. You know what I mean? Fighting with it, and I'm just finally like, you know what? I could be streaming something else and be having a blast right now, and us all just bullshitting, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no. I had to, like, because I was determined, and yeah, I'm just I fail you. I fail you, viewers. I fail you. I am sorry. Oh, God. You think I'm playing? I hope I can make sure to grab up my goddamn silent home. So I know I'm going to bring the thing. Fuck yes. I know y'all heard that too.
What happened?
Oh, I busted out my Tylenol out of my backpack. The first thing I did is I shook the container, and I was like, I know y'all heard that. Because, oh, nope. You see why I don't want to ever learn, like, I'm like, learning to code is for the birds, man. Fuck learning to code. I don't have the patience for it. I've tried on several occasions to learn to code, and it just made me want to punch things. I don't want to punch things. That's not right. Punching things bad, okay? You shouldn't punch things. That's not polite. And apparently, yeah, that's how I'm kind of feeling right now, Gorgonite. Completely useless.
The thing is, Neo, I do generally prefer the Sith more because really the Sith really do not give a damn what you do. You're pretty much allowed to do whatever you goddamn please. Just the higher up the ranks you go, the more you gotta worry about someone trying to kill you to get your position. So it pays off to be a bit more paranoid. But by then, that just improves your power structure because you're constantly improving yourself to combat the people trying to outdo you. Like, yeah, for the most part, you're allowed to do whatever you goddamn please. The Sith just do not care.
Dude, yeah, but see, the thing is...
Meanwhile, on the flip side, the Jedi will pretty much dictate your entire life.
The Jedi also have battle meditation, which is their main strength. Without battle meditation, the Jedi are not nearly as powerful. And like the Sith's biggest problem, and you kind of touched on it, but their biggest problem is the fact that they're so quick to betray each other just for the sake of getting ahead, basically.
Yeah.
Like, I decided to hate myself.
What?
Oh, you'll see. You'll see. And I know everyone in chat will be like, the shame.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. That's, dude.
Ah shit. There we go again.
Right. I mean, come on. I've only put like 74 hours into this game compared to like the Borderlands 2, which I swear to God I dumped at least $1,000, like total into. I'm just like, yeah, it's time. Let's see what they're doing. That's what I'm trying to get back up. Oh, all right. I'm trying to get chat to where I can see it again.
I mean, it's as I said, Gorgonite. The Sith just don't care what you do. You can pretty much take everything you learn from the Sith and have an easier time getting out because, again, they just don't care. If you're not going to be a part of the Sith, that just means there's less competition for them to get power. So they'll be more than happy for you to just fuck off and do nothing with your life.
Fuck off, die, and pretty much just make sure to pay your tab on the way out. That's all they really care about. I don't fucking know. Fuck it. Played this game and fuck all ever. At least I had it installed, and I fired it up.
It is why I pretty much said I'd rather be a light side or neutral Sith because I'm pretty much allowed free reign to do whatever I damn well please, and I could still be technically a good guy.
And Gorgonite, you can judge me and Siren all you want. I don't really care. Don't care. But this one, like, I'm glad I took the extension beforehand. That's all I gotta say. Glad I took the extension beforehand, and hope to God that I don't start getting the feeling that this game gives me. That's all I gotta say. You'll know because I'll just shut the game down. I'm just like, I can't take it anymore.
Well, Marty's got a point. At least we managed to talk about Trump trolling mass immigration.
Dude, we did, but we can talk about it again because that shit's still fucking hilarious. I don't even care. Like, that is one of those glorious fashion Trump just being Trump and reminding people that, you know, Trump doesn't need to gain your approval because the people who are going to vote for Trump were going to vote for him regardless. They don't care.
Yeah. The one thing I woke Neostar, the one thing I'll criticize the Republic on is with the light side Sith routes for both Warrior and Inquisitor. The light sided Sith is basically the logical Sith. The Sith that doesn't always like a buckle into their emotions and impulses and actually think about stuff. Like, you know, I could kill this guy and I could torture and kill this guy, or I could spare them and then basically just make them work for the Empire. It's always more along that kind of thing. Like, if you're a light side Sith, you're basically just a logical Sith who's in control of themselves. Which I suppose makes sense because the dark side is all about losing yourself to your emotions, letting your emotions take control and just always succumbing to your impulse. So I guess it makes sense in a way.
All right. But yeah, let's get back to Trump doing what he does best and the mighty screeching that has been being had coming from various spots within.
And I guess his troll is like the only logical conclusion he can do because he tried to get rid of Sanctuary Series for a long time and nothing happened as a result of this effort. So it's like, okay, well, you get to keep your sanctuary cities, and since you refuse to help me and getting rid of the illegals as well, you get to keep your illegals as well. But I'm going to force all the illegals into your sanctuary cities. You get to have both.
See, I not even act like I could hear you, because for some reason they decided to make the game super fucking loud.
Oh, jeez. So you can't hear me right now?
When they're talking, I can't hear you. And I'm apparently going to be continuously hearing them talk from.
Can you like lower down the volume or something, or is it the people in the house you're in talking too loud?
No, the actual game.
Okay. Can you like lower it down?
I'm gonna try it. I got everything.
Like voice.
That's why the dialogue volume up to fuck all high.
Damn.
Like when I was just shooting, I could hear you fine, and then all of a sudden I couldn't. I was like, what the fuck over? What if I put the gravity clamp? Okay. Oh well, that didn't work.
So I've never really played the pre-sequel. How is the pre-sequel?
Does that tell you something? Like the back of them just like, not bad. Like, I'd be lying if I said it was bad. All right.
All right. But you'd also be lying if you said it was good.
Yeah, I feel like the constant going in and out of pressurized areas and whatnot. Like, granted, like I said, first time playing this came down bad food poisoning. Still kind of, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I'm also at the same time like the constant in and out of pressurized area, the changes in the audio and everything makes me kind of feel like that still. Like, whoa, okay, how do you do the slam though? There we go. All right. Oops, wrong button.
So, like, what kind of classes are there?
Well, I'm playing the Gladiator, which is basically like Captain America with the shield and whatnot. If you didn't notice when I threw the shield and everything, like. But then you got Lawbringer, which is 6-shooter, dual 6-shooters. The Frag Trap, which is I'm guessing the Claptrap you see in 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have what's his name? One of the guys you fight, Wilhelm. And before he becomes pure robot, though.
Right.
This is the pre-sequel takes place between 1 and 2. Let's see, but it seems like most of the attractors either screwed up more or proved to be even worse than the. Yes! Oh my God! Yes, Star. Basically, the Trump's attractors they end up being worse than he is, and it's like, come on.
As I said, I got nothing against Trump, but I got everything against Trump detractors. I'm not a Trump fan. It's just.
But that's the thing.
They just constantly make themselves the worst party to think about.
And that's exactly it. They make themselves out to be like these grand heroes of society. They're all about helping the minorities and this, that, and the other. And how can we be so mean for not wanting to have all these, brown people in America? It's because they're brown, and that's all it is. That's all it is. They're brown, and we don't like them because they're brown. Doesn't matter if they're here legally. It doesn't. There's no nuance. It's only because they're brown. And how can we not want these brown people in America? That's literally all I hear. I'm not even lying.
Insulting all the quote-unquote brown people who got here legally and got like good jobs and decent houses for their families.
Mm. But don't you know that was by playing the white man's game?
Oh yeah, they're not brown people anymore. They're just darker white people.
Yep.
It's the same thing with the successful black people.
Uh-huh. Exactly. You get it.
It's like what I said like years before. They're doing themselves no favor turning race issues into class issues.
Or more specifically, class issues into race issues.
Yeah, because a race is not a class. You can have rich and poor white people. You can have rich and poor black people.
Oh yeah, but that's the thing. You're taking the nuanced approach. You're taking the approach of it makes sense. No, not them. They're taking the. I did not mean to do that, but they're taking the. Oh, if you don't follow my intersectional ideology that conflicts with my other ideology, you're a racist, sexist, homophobe. Oh,
and one of the clearest examples of my thing of them turning race issues into class issues and class issues into race issues is the bullshit with Justice Smollett. I mean,
yep.
by all accounts, he should be freaking arrested, but because he has political influence, celebrity status, and a crap ton of money, he just gets to go free.
Oh yeah. And let's be honest.
If you believe any leftist, he should be arrested and in jail indefinitely just for being black. But because he's got money and clout, he's walking free.
But that's the thing. You once again, you're forgetting the nuance, and that's what it is. You're forgetting the nuance. Of course, according to a leftist, just him being black is a guilty offense. You know what I mean? Things like that. Of course, because
he should be arrested for being caught driving while black.
Yeah, but but that's the thing. Where we understand, yeah, it's a nuanced situation. You know, he had political pull. He had the money to be able to get off. It to them, they're not going to admit that. They're just going to be like, oh well, it's like a modern day segregation. It not only seeks to create further division in people, it also actively ruins otherwise successful franchises. Yes, it does. But it's also the fact that if you look at what's going on with him, and you actually talk about it realistically, it's like, look, if a white person did that, they would be in prison too. Like,
yeah, they would.
And if your average black person did it, they'd be in deep shit too. If your average Mexican person, Latin, whatever, Asian, if anyone else who didn't have the money and the connections to do anything,
to walk away from all of those like 16 felonies, I think.
Yes, 17 actually.
17, yeah.
16, it was over 16 because it was supposed to be
over 16. Okay.
Yeah, the grand jury indicted him on 16 felonies, but there was also one extra one that they were throwing on top of it. I can't remember what it was though.
The NAACP was fantastic to watch because of Chris Rock.
Like,
so good.
Oh, dude, yeah. And what drives me nuts about it, dude, is it's not like
you're not even Jesse anymore. You're Jesse. You don't even get the you.
Yeah,
the you is respect. You ain't getting none of it.
Well, no, I was gonna say what made it so funny is like the fact that what did he think was gonna happen? Like, he stayed home because he knew if he showed up there,
he was going to be the butt of every joke.
I mean, he still kind of was.
He still was, but at least then when the people laughed, they all had a direction to face.
Well, it would have been funny if they all had a direction of face. You know what I mean?
It would have just have everyone like turn in their seats to look at him while laughing.
Mm-hmm. He'd have been like, "Come on, man, that's not cool. Dismissed. All charges dismissed. I'm innocent." Okay. See, you keep saying that, but I don't think that's the.
You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Innocent, means that you got your 10 grand. I mean, granted, I don't think a bail would be ever. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
It'd be gotten back, but like, I'm just saying, there's no way you are innocent. Like, you had to give up you had to forfeit your bail, you had to forfeit all these things, and you are still running around saying that you're innocent? No one believes it.
And I think now he's going to get prosecuted by the state of, I mean, not the city of Chicago because he refuses to pay the compensation for the investigation fees.
I don't know how that's going to work out. Like at someone Tim Pool pointed out, double jeopardy doesn't apply because he didn't go into for trial and everything. But at the same time, it's like maybe he didn't go into, or he didn't have a trial, but it's still. I'm just saying, I don't see him being able to get him on it. I see them trying in that, and it's like,
isn't the FBI still investigating some stuff?
That they might be able to get him on. But hey, I'm trying to hold on here. I'm trying not to. You probably.
Literally nobody wants Jesse back, Neo. No one wants Jesse back.
What, on Encore or Empire? No, they don't.
And if anybody says they want Jesse back, they refuse to see how much in the minority they're in.
No, they want him back. Okay, they're saying they do because they want to show cohesion between the various actors and things and such, but they don't really want him back. They are pretty much all mad because he made them look stupid. And that's literally what it is. He made them look stupid, and they can't. Like, I don't blame him or them. I really don't, because I look at it as they all went out on a limb. They were all like, "Oh my God, this happened," blah blah blah, and then come to find out, no, he literally made the whole thing up, paid a couple guys to do it, and now y'all are pretty much all left with egg on your face. I don't blame him, dude.
I still can't believe we had all that physical evidence and testimonies and everything pretty much flat out showing just how guilty he was, and just because of money and clout, he got to walk free.
I'm not at all surprised.
Yeah.
He with the money always will get treated better than those without.
Well, here's a quick way to get him for real actually arrested. Can someone get Jesse's tax papers?
And see if he actually paid all his taxes?
Yeah. Like if all else fails, just get the IRS.
That's how they got Scarface, the real Scarface.
Yeah.
Al Capone.
Yeah, Al Capone. This is what I was saying. If Al Capone can't escape tax evasion, no one can escape tax evasion.
No. And the thing is he could have, smart move would have been, all right, I got all these legal funds coming in. I need to have at least something on paper to say where I'm getting it from, things like that.
Yeah, if he just paid his taxes and cooked the books to a way where it's believable where he got the money, he'll probably his grandchildren would be set for life right now.
Well, I don't even think he had children because he spent the rest of his life in prison. When he told
Well, I mean, like he wouldn't have gone to jail and he would have had children.
Well, he got out, but he was an old man by that point.
Yeah.
It was one of those, best way to describe it, he tried everything. There we go.
But we would still have like the biggest mob boss ever still active today if he just did his finances and actually paid his taxes. You know, even though it wouldn't be him, because I'm pretty sure he would have retired at some point. At least his descendants would still be active if he like got with someone and made descendants. Like his descendants today would still be active and leading probably one of the biggest crime families today.
Probably. I'm not even gonna act like we wouldn't. Oh, come on, where's it? There it is. The other thing I hate about this game. The constant quest for oxygen.
So what? This is all based on like a planet or asteroid without an atmosphere or something.
All right. See the Hyperion station there?
Yeah.
Notice how it's not complete yet?
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's because Pandora is right there.
So you're on the moon.
Yep. And let's just say.
All right. Fair enough, I guess.
Dude, I'm still disappointed. I got this game. I bought it for me and a buddy of mine. I bought it for both of us. And I still feel like, in a way, because the way the game makes me feel kind of, you know what I mean? I still feel kind of like, oh, well, I got screwed.
Right.
But it's not even like the developer's fault. I'm not going to say it is. They just made a game. I just happened to have gotten sick at the most inopportune time. And I associate it now constantly with this game. Like, I'm so disappointed. Like, and I'm probably, but from what I've heard, I'm not the only person that kind of like,
was disappointed.
Yeah, like you saw, I took the Excedrin. The Excedrin's not even helping anymore, because that's what this game does. I can't play it for long before it, and I'm fighting through the. I guess you say the nauseation from the game and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And just how it is. I'm kind of, like I said, it's a cool concept. I just feel like there's a lot of areas where they're constantly like, or they're constantly like, look at us, we're a bunch of Aussies. We're being funny. Now you're gonna come down to Australia. You're gonna enjoy yourself a good vacation here. You know you want to.
I'll have a good time in Space Australia, mate.
We get it. You're from space. You can't make that joke without adding the whole Krillin. We get it. You're from space.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, I almost had it. Oh, you mother! And this, kids, is why you always keep a Tedior R2 in your inventory. So when you're down, you can just. In fact, you knock it off?
I am busy trying to do a mission.
Right. Just. Yeah, what now, bitch? Give me air. It's like, do you not? Wait, I am trying to finish a mission here.
Space Australia, Space France, whenever we want to get a Space Cuba.
Alright.
I'm trying to think if there was already something that's like a Space Cuba.
You know, I kind of. Oh, come on. Please tell me I'm up here. Please tell me I'm up here. Alright.
I think,
Really?
I think Mars from Call of Duty Infinity Warfare is kind of like space North Korea.
I still like this. I mean, the grind was the grind was the only appeal of Borderlands. For me, the majority of the humor in all of them aged about as well as unpasteurized milk left outside for a day. The grinding done. Like that with makeshift space rafts to leave. I would have been done with this if it hadn't been for those bastards. But it's because they're all sexist. Gotta beat up on the woman. I swear, they're typical white males. Just saying.
I wouldn't say it's space Cuba, as in people are trying to leave it in mass. That's sort of like the opposite. Like a lot of people go to it in mass, but I think maybe Nar Shaddaa would be kind of like space Cuba. This is kind of a giant ass moon-sized slum. I actually like Nar Shaddaa. Nar Shaddaa is like my favorite planet in Knights of the Republic 2. It's got a good story to it.
I still need to, like, I really want to finish the first one. I really do. Just because I've never finished the first one.
Right.
But unfortunately, it doesn't back up the saves. So if you have to restart like I have, you're pretty much. I'm not spending all my time fighting you assholes here. Let me figure that out. But anyway.
Well, you know, like the lower city on Taurus, the first planet in the first game.
Okay.
Nar Shaddaa is like an entire planet that's essentially that.
But it's slums instead of proper city.
It is an entire moon-sized city that's nothing but slums.
Oh wow.
Very, very, very crap slums.
That sucks. Like, I'm not even like. There's no amount of humor that can be made. That just pure sucks. It's like, oh man, it sucks to me.
It is pure suckage. Like everybody like lives in like storage containers.
Yeah, like who wants to live in that? That's like
Yeah, I say Nar Shaddaa's more like Space Detroit. Yeah, I can see that.
led by Somalians.
Led by Somalians. I say half ruled by Somalians, and then the other half is ruled by two different types of mafia that are like at each other's throats.
So like the I was gonna make a follow.
Well, let's say like one is a mafia, the other one is a very mega corp crime syndicate.
You know, I should grab those up and see if I can get them to work. somewhere out in the shed, and I found them the other day. I have old discs with copies of Fallout 1 and 2 on there.
Right.
And it's like, you know, I was about to make a Fallout joke, but I don't remember the name of the town because I haven't played it in so long. And I don't even really like Fallout 1 and 2 all that much. I thought the idea was cool. I just don't like the gameplay. I don't like that style of RPG.
Fallout 1, you can win in like 10 minutes if you memorize where stuff is at.
Oh, yeah. No.
Because if you memorize the locations, you can just essentially just go straight to the place where the super mutants and the scientist guy is, and get the water chip if you just have a high enough science stat. Because then you can convince the scientist guy to pretty much like kill himself, and you can get the water chip, and then you just go straight back to your vault, and you're done in like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Like I said, I never really like I guess you can say the only reason why I know as much as I do about the Fallout series is not because of me being able to complete the games, even though I've tried. I've tried completing Fallout 1 and 2 on several occasions. But because the one friend I told you about, the one that the one that we shall not be named, we all know, he's a huge Fallout fan. He also ruined 3 for me. I'm still kind of mad at him for that.
Nar Shaddaa makes the modern Middle East and Africa combined look like paradise. Essentially, yeah, it's pretty crap. It's pretty crap all around. If you were to ever have cyberpunk in Star Wars, Nar Shaddaa would have the cyberpunk. It doesn't help that a lot of like the successful companies and warehouses and corporate and like crafting places on Nar Shaddaa is either owned by the Hut gangs, the Hut cartels, or the exchange, which is basically the like the.
I gotta say, when it comes to the Hut, the thing that still to this day doesn't make sense to me is how come people tolerate that they're bullshit? Like they're all the same way. They will work. They will do what they have to get whatever they can from you, preferably your territory, and then they'll just make you basically a second-class citizen on your own planet. The Huts are notoriously known for doing that. I even know that. That's what they do.
A lot of the time they do that to like pre-spaceflight aliens, so they just don't know any better.
They take full advantage of the naivete of the species.
Pretty much, and then with others, you know, they exploit species that are naturally very passive, like the Twi'leks. The Twi'leks by nature are very passive.
But aren't they also some of the strongest Force users, or the strongest with the Force, I should say?
Some of the strongest, yes, but it's also a lot to do with their passive nature. They're just very go with the flow kind, not go against the grain or authority. Just go with what's happening.
Yeah, no, I think that's the stupidest way you can be. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. There are instances where going with the flow is understandable. It seems it's the right recourse for the situation. But then there's other situations where it's like going with the flow. Are you smoking meth? That sounds like something.
And that's exactly why the Twi'leks are like the preferred slave species in Star Wars. Because they require very little training or breakage. If you just enslave them, like 9 times out of 10, they're just gonna just go with it.
That wow.
Yeah. And a lot of people always question why alien species gets enslaved when there's droids, and I just gave them like the exact same answer every time. It has to do with the Force. The Force is connected with everything, and there's a light side and a dark side to it. The dark side corrupts Jedi, and because the Force is in everything, so too does the dark side of the Force corrupt even non-Force sensitive people. And a lot of the stuff with the dark side of the Force has to do with sadism and power control. So, yeah, what jollies are being rustled with slaving around a droid, you know?
Yeah.
If you have a living being to abuse and exploit, then yeah, you're going to get a lot of dark side jollies out of that.
All sorts of the jollies, eh?
Yeah, so it's just an extension of just blame the Force. The Force is the reason why slavery is going on. Blame the Force.
And Gorgonite added, and by the time people caught onto them, they already had a majority of the Outer Rim under their thumb and got every finger in trade, so they pretty much have everyone by the balls.
And plus, they're like the only ones that are really any authority in the Outer Realm. So really,
yeah, but
there's really no competition for them to go against.
This is why the Jedi are too passive for my liking. Because what they should have done is been like, all right, we gotta have to let these guys, like, if the Jedi stepped up and actually been like the ever glorious peacekeepers that they claim themselves to be, and actually did something about it.
And plus, also a great deal of territory the Hutts got was back before even the cartels were even made. That was like back when they were actually a warrior people.
Wait, the Hutts were a warrior people?
Dude, under all that fat is straight up fucking muscle potential. Like, holy crap.
Well,
ancient Hutts are fucking built.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Ancient Hutts. Modern Hutts are...
Yeah, that's when that's when the cartel kind of took over, and then the power status symbol was like your fat content, because if you got a lot of fat on you, that means you're not doing a whole lot, which means you got other people to do stuff for you. So therefore, the fatter you are, like the richer you are.
True.
But back in the day, the freaking Hutts were like stacked, and they were built like tanks. Like there was nothing more terrifying than a Hutt warrior charging into your front lines, just nabbing like the guy next to you and eating them whole. They were terrifying.
Wow. Oh. Okay. I did what I could. I handled what I could.
Yeah.
Ugh. And those for keeping Portuguese under their control and check government and people's rights came second. Yeah, I can kind of see that. I mean, they are kind of a, what you call it as.
I mean, they don't even really care too much about people's rights. I mean, they pretty much just convince families to give up their more sensitive children, and then pretty much never let them get in contact with their children ever again.
No, what they did is they showed up and used the Force is what they did.
Yeah. They are pretty much a cult in every sense of the fashion.
Oh, yeah. But, all right. I figure we're going to go ahead and call it here because,
Calling it a day. The pre-sequel kind of did you in.
oh, dude, I told you, man. I really like. I'm trying. I'm trying to fight through it, but that game. Like, didn't you see how much? Like, you could. I swear, you like.
I saw you physically get sick the more you played.
I'm just saying, and I don't know why it does that. I just know I couldn't hold on much longer, and it's like, huh. But I figured it's also be a good spot to end it. Unfortunately,
it was a bit more of a subdued stream, mostly because we just had the mood ruined by the fact that Minecraft just refused to work.
Because we were all like, we were geared up, ready to go. We were gonna fucking talk about the politics and playing some Minecraft, and I spent the whole time trying to fight with Minecraft, and it's like, this is some bullshit. This is some pure fucking bullshit. You motherfucker. Throws Minecraft in the corner. You've been bad. Now think about what you've done. That's all I gotta say to that. But
Right.
all right, I'm like, yeah, do your thing. You know,
well, I'm Nicholas Knockan, also known as Duskquill. You can find me here on YouTube under the name Duskquill Team, where I do a monthly indie showcase show and interview indie tabletop creators. You can find me on Twitter at Duskquill_team. You can also find me on Subscribestar with that same tag. On there, you can find my PayPal. You want to donate to me directly, or my Patreon, where you can help fund me create my own tabletop games and my own comics. And you can catch me every week here on Sunday for ANAOT Politics, and maybe every once in a while you'll see me either on stream or doing moderation on the chat for anything else that Bob here does.
Pretty much.
And I have open commissions for writing, whether they be character creations, short stories, or script works for projects, or just editorial work. All prices are negotiable depending on what you want me to do.
Word. All right. And as always, I'm the one and only Bob Jones. You can find me on Twitter at Brainiac420. You can find me in Mindscab, TikTok, and Instagram at Bob Jones Comic Wars. And you can find me on BitChute at Bob Jones. And I do believe you can find me at Bob Jones Comic Wars on DLive as well, which I need to start using a bit, there as well. Get that built up and whatnot. Yeah, pretty much. Gorgonite became more teaching about Star Wars. I'm the Star Trek guy. But all right. You folks have a good night, and we shall catch you later.
Have a good